Great financial insights have been provided by Robert Kiyosaki in both his books and interviews. He mentioned how many people didn't know what was coming up in one such interview. Interested to learn what it is? Keep an eye out. Since the Fed can't stop printing money and the shadow banking system, also known as the euro-dollar system, is 1,000 times bigger than the Fed, we believe that we are currently depressed and will soon be in the worst slump in human history. Therefore, no matter what happens, we are going down. China will take part in the conflict. In the meantime, if either of us is holding cash, we could be in serious trouble. The biggest retirement fund in the world is in danger of failing. The biggest pension fund in America is on the verge of bankruptcy. That means toasts to firefighters, teachers, and other public servants. They'll learn that the government has cheated them, just like my poor dad. They assume that their pension will be safe, but it is currently in jeopardy and is about to experience the biggest bust in the history of the world. It's a huge market because they are passionate about everything. All the structures, bonds, and other similar things pique their interest. Pensions are available almost everywhere. This is the most important program to watch if you are a baby boomer or have parents who are baby boomers. Because our Federal Reserve Bank, Treasury, and politicians have so badly messed up the US dollar, there is concern that the American empire is coming to an end. They want to print money, which they are already doing, because they need to find a way to keep people happy. Just keep in mind that since money is derived from production, paying people not to produce amounts to effectively paying them not to revolt. This is exactly what happened during the Roman Empire, and what happened towards the end of the Roman Empire was that the leaders of Rome debased the currency by finding silver and gold coins, melting them, and performing other bizarre acts. They started taxing workers, who in ancient Rome were farmers and yeomen, because they were engaged in wars, just as we are today. As a result of our currency being tainted, the American empire is crumbling. Would I now accept the cash? Certainly, given the fact that we're discussing not opposing the federal or state governments or politics. If they offer you $1,000, you must convert it into gold, silver, or Bitcoin before accepting it. Getting back to what you can do about your miserable job, when he ran as a Republican for lieutenant governor, he lost his pension. Rich Dad Poor Dad was written, according to Robert Kiyosaki, because the author was at a loss for what to do when his 50-year-old and realized that his doctorate was not particularly useful to him. In an interview, Robert claims, "I'm powerless over Biden, but I have self-control. I didn't think it was going to get this awful, so it's a lot worse than I expected." Is it going to get worse? Probably, but rather than running into a bunker, I'm ready for it. My latest book is called The Capitalist Manifesto. Educating our families in capitalism is a way to counter communism in the classroom. You see, at home, I was taught about capitalism, so that's where I learned about it. I used to teach communism in the classroom, but as you are well aware, the media is now wholly biased against it. I am fighting for it because capitalism is about freedom. The Federal Reserve produced $10 trillion in order to prevent the economy from collapsing. As most of you are aware, the real yield curve is a euro-dollar curve, despite Jay Powell of the Fed's efforts to inflate it. Both the Fed curve and the euro-dollar curve are not inverted. Each time it has happened, tragedy has followed. Recent inversion of the yield curve between the euro and the dollar. That the following one will be the largest one yet. While this may be good news for some, the baby boomers who are beginning to retire will find it disappointing. We must exercise self-control and be leaders within. What's happening inside is this terrible question, and we don't believe it will be resolved. Education is crucial for this reason, but you also need to examine your inner self. Equities are preferable to the real estate because if a person spends $100 on Amazon or Apple and the price drops, he can leave quickly. It is known as liquidity. Troll real estate isn't for sale, so if you invest at the height of the market, you'll be pulled down with it because you can't get out, like the captain of the Titanic. The phrase liquidity was created. Financial literacy is required. Since liquidity refers to how quickly you can exit a situation, real estate is preferred because you can borrow money without paying interest or taxes. You must therefore be 10 times smarter because you are totally in debt And if the baby is born, you can bet that a second crucifixion will take place because the father will be a Japanese man rather than a Jew. To scare off your investors, they'll hang you. America was established as a tax-free nation. Not 1619 or 1610, as some have claimed. America was established at the Boston Tea Party in 1773. All of this was dropped because even though we won't be paying taxes, we still consider ourselves patriots because using debt to avoid paying taxes requires extensive research, which you should conduct. How do people who pay no taxes actually become wealthy? Do you think Donald Trump files his taxes? Evidently not. You must fully utilize debt because the government gives you tax breaks when you use debt, and money is created every time you borrow money. If you understand, every time you borrow $30 million to buy a piece of property in Austin, Texas, you receive tax benefits. This financial statement is essential because you depend on loans. The banker will be impressed when you sit down with them and show them all of these properties. As a result, the economy is doing as badly as it is because our country is run by incompetent Federal Reserve officials and poor fathers with PhDs. Bitcoin, which is made up of people's money, silver, and gold, are excellent investments right now. Please let us know in the comments section below if you found this video to be educational or helpful. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe to make sure you don't miss any of my upcoming videos.